Yes,
This
that's a
episode
good way.
brought to you by VidAngel. For only $4.99 a
See?
month, you can guard your children
That's a good one.
from this broken, fallen world. You don't have to fall into the patterns of this world. VidAngel.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Tug of War.
Guys, we're thrilled that you're here hanging
That's
out
right.
with us. It's just a conversation between two friends about where we are and where we want to be.
Yep.
The tension, the tug, the pull of more.
That's the Tug of War.
We're excited
Yep.
to be here. We have a little clock that we always start, and today the batteries died in the remote.
We had to fix it and figure out. We've only had this. We've only had this stopwatch clock. What do you call it? For like 4.5, 5 years. 5 years now.
Yeah, a long time, and we still don't really know which button to make it work.
We never
but
know what we're
we
doing.
somehow miraculously
We got it.
start every episode
started it.
frustrated trying to get the clock to work. But we
Maybe
got it.
that's what happens. What happens is every time we come in here and we start talking, and then we're like, "Shh, stop saying that. Let's say that on the podcast." And
Yeah.
then we start it, and by the time we start it, we forget what we were going to say.
I don't forget what I was
I'm
going to
just
say.
kidding. What are you going to say?
Rachel and I cleaned out our closets
Yep.
2 months ago, and then put a bunch of clothes that we no longer wear into 2 laundry baskets, and then let them sit in the garage for 2.5 months.
Okay.
Well, I got sick of it, and so took them to. It was not her fault; it's my fault, because we've learned that if she takes clothes, they offer her a nickel, and if I take clothes,
This
they
is
offer
true.
me $1,000.
This is literally what Aaron and I have had this exact conversation about. He always is the one that takes them.
Same, because
Because
it's
if
not
I
a very
take them-
trust-any task
No.
in our family.
It shouldn't be, really. It should be a girl task, you would think.
But I took
Taking
them
the clothes
today.
to the resale shop. No.
And I go in, dropped off all the clothes to these teenage girls that work
Right.
there with all of my cholericness available. And I dropped them off, and then they're going to tell me what they're worth. And I just got a text message I'm highly frustrated about.
What is your...
They offered me $22 for 2 laundry baskets full of nice clothes.
It doesn't make sense because their algorithm or whatever of decision making, I don't understand.
I know the problem.
Why?
Is that I should have... There's a bunch of jackets and,
So we're about to
shackets.
enter spring and you took winter
Right.
clothes.
If I
so
would
they
have
were
taken these exact laundry baskets
3 to 6
3 months ago,
Yeah.
they would have given me a bunch of money. But
You're
now they're
right.
like, what do we want a bunch of
So now
double
you-
X express denim jackets for?
Now you have the option to hold on to it
No.
for 6 more months.
No, you don't. Because if you leave, if you drop the clothes off and then leave, you have to say yes to their offer.
Oh.
That's
But
what they told
But they
me.
give it back to you, right?
No, they give me back what I don't want.
That's what I'm saying.
What they don't
But now
buy.
you hold on to the things they didn't buy for a minute.
Yeah, but they buy everything that has like a name brand.
That's true. Yeah.
$22, a bunch of jokers. I
they-
could have got more at a garage sale.
They told me last time. So what happened was Aaron and McKinley cleaned out a bunch of things, took it, got a bunch of money. Then I did it, took it. Also, I took it. My bad. Shouldn't have done it. Excuse me. Same. They didn't give me very much. And then they told me, oh, your size, we already have a lot of stock in. We need this size and this size, and you didn't give us that size. And I'm like, "Ah." And so then they told me,
That's what I
take
tell
it
everybody.
to Arlington.
That's what I tell everybody if I was a liar.
Yeah, right?
They
That's
might
what
not
I
be
felt
liars.
like.
They might just be the nicest people.
They're probably nice. But I will say that Uptown Cheapskate does better for you than Plato's Closet. Sorry, that's just the way it is. If you want more money for your clothes, go to Uptown Cheapskate.
This episode brought to you by
Don't go to
Uptown
Play-
Cheapskate.
and not Plato's. Plato's, they jank you.
Hey, all of my YouTubers that I watch
Yeah.
are now all putting ads in the middle of their
It's, yeah.
episodes. All of them. I watch guys that are literal fat off-road truck builders.
Yeah.
Fat men
Right?
that build off-road vehicles. And in the middle of the episode, they cut to them in their kitchen. And they're like, you know how I start my day? I drink AG1. And then they take like a big drink
like,
AG1.
"No, you
I'm
don't."
like, no, you don't, dude. You're a liar.
You
You
don't drink
But for
AG1.
some reason,
I did it.
AG1 is giving you money.
I fell scam to the AG1 once.
Oh, I don't like it. It's not good.
No, I ordered it for like 3 months. But then if you really look at the
But you
ingredients.
know why? My YouTubers, they got me.
Yeah, me too. That's why I did it.
Heavy D Sparks got me.
That's why I did it. My influencers on social media, I ordered it. And I was like, I did it for like 3 months. And then my husband, he doesn't care if something tastes like garbage. If it's healthy, he'll still eat it. So he was like consuming it. And then
It's like, we bought this, we must
will
eat
consume it. But then I like started looking at it and I'm like, it's actually not as like beneficial as they act like it is. It's all just an ad.
Just
and
take a
now,
vitamin.
yeah,
Just take a
it's not as good
multivitamin.
and it costs a lot of money. So
And it tastes like spinach butt.
yeah, it doesn't taste good. But
You have to mix it with orange juice to taste good, but then you're getting in like 20 grams of sugar to drink it in.
oh yeah, I never did that. I'd only ever tried it with water. But
So anyways, we have never done a paid ad. You know why? We don't have enough people watching.
maybe someone will start to. What do you get? Affiliate ad? We need to get an affiliate link.
Yeah.
Andrew, work on that.
What if we just start doing ads for companies that we're not sponsored by,
Well,
and then
we-
just sending it to them, and they're like, you know what?
These
wait,
people-
they're like, we forgot we made an agreement with them, and they just
They
start
just start
paying
sending us money or
they sue us.
supplies. Oh, they probably sue us.
Oh yeah, or supplies. That would be great.
Cease and desist. If you got
You know what I want? Element,
Element.
because I have a subscription.
Yeah, I know you do. I use Waterboy a lot lately.
Waterboy,
Have you Waterboy? Isn't that what it's called? Yeah.
Foodball's the devil, Bobby Boucher, Waterboy.
Yeah, it's just a little less sodium content, but still electrolytes or whatever. So
Do you feel a little sad for this generation of 20-year-olds that they haven't seen like the greatness of Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore and The Waterboy?
yeah, because if you watch some of his more recent things, they're not as good.
Yeah, you're like, Adam, what are you doing?
What are you doing, Adam? You're just wearing your basketball shorts.
There's
I don't
all
know.
these movies that I wish that I could take all the young people and like make them come to my house and watch.
I've done that with my kids, a few of them, but it.
Titus
yeah.
is old enough now that he's pumped to watch any of my 80s action movies.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dude is locked
Are any
in.
of them scary to him still, or he's doing better now?
No,
Or,
he,
like,
no,
old
he's
enough
no,
now?
he's doing better. We have a subscription. These people might sponsor us
Who is it?
because it's Christian Vibes.
Oh, you about to say the Angels show?
VidAngel.
VidAngel?
VidAngel. I think it's $4 a month or something. We have not a prescription. That's
Subscription.
subscription to VidAngel. And so the way that it works is you can watch a movie through. So you go to VidAngel, you pick the movie you want to watch, and then there's all these like drop down bars that you can cut content out of the movie. So you can like there's language, violence, gore, sexuality, nudity, all these things, and you can go through and you can cut certain words. So like you can cut out all the F words,
Yeah.
but like, are we gonna cut out every time they say the D word?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Oh, well, like, well, how much are we gonna cut out? And so you can select it and watch it, and it's great because it's allowed me to watch movies with Titus
Yeah.
that I would not watch.
Right.
Because you can just cut out nudity, and you're like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So some of the movies that came out in the 90s would just literally be 10 minutes long if you put it through there.
Yeah, but like Terminator 1 is a movie that's like is a rite of passage, in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah,
if you haven't
it's a
seen
great
Terminator
one.
1
Yeah.
and you were a man,
What are you doing?
you might not be if
Right,
you haven't seen
right,
Terminator 1.
right. What
And
are you
so,
doing?
but there's one scene, Sarah Connor. What are you doing?
Sarah Connor.
And so, boom, got it. It's dealt with.
It's out.
He doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Titus isn't even aware.
He's going to be like 43 one day.
Yeah.
And like showing it to his own kid or something and be like, wait, this is not in it. What?
Well, this is what happened to me because growing up, all the movies I would watch would just be on TBS.
Yes. Yes.
You know, TV is
Yeah.
on like prime on television.
Yep.
And they would edit it.
Correct.
But then you watch, like, I used to watch Conan the Barbarian. I watched it so many times. But I didn't know that they were like, there's a whole scene where they're bringing him like slave women. And
you've never seen it.
Years later, I saw it like on
Yeah.
DVD. What?
You're like, what's this?
But it's because TBS just cut that,
yeah, I
cut that
took,
stuff out.
McKinley and I went through like,
So you're right. That's exactly what I'm doing to Titus.
McKinley and I went through like a season, right? You know, when she was an adult, like 18, but we started watching like, Breakfast Club and like Pretty in Pink and some of those, and like they're only rated like PG-13 or some, maybe even some of them PG, but back then the ratings were different, and there's so much language in there,
Oh, yeah.
and I did not realize that there was, and there's a few even like nude scenes in certain pieces that you're like, whoa, what? This is a movie from the 80s, but yeah, I had seen it through TV, so I
Yeah,
didn't even
you
know it
didn't
was in
realize.
there. And so
The first one he wanted to watch so bad was Jaws. Have I already told the story? So I get VidAngel, I download the thing on the Apple TV, and so we're watching Jaws, and I leave every restriction on, and the movie makes absolutely no sense.
yeah, that's what I was gonna
Because
say. It has to like not.
it's like a bad fishing movie because I left out all violence, all blood, anything. And so like you never see somebody get eaten. It's just like all of a sudden people are in the water playing and then they're running out on the beach, but you don't ever see the shark. And so Titus was like, Dave, this movie's lame. And so then I had to put back in all the violence.
Yeah.
To then
make it.
And then dude was locked in.
But also the Jaws violence is not real violence.
Yeah, but when you're
Right?
like 10.
Well, no, I'm saying, but it wasn't too traumatic probably, right? Because it's not like,
No, the dude at the end, he gets bit by the shark and the shark's in the boat. Rah, here's a clip. Rah, dude's in the thing. Look at him. That's scary.
that's scary. Okay. You're right. Okay. That's,
Andrew loves it when I do that.
well, yeah, hey, it's good. It's good. But that's an interesting, it's funny. I'm just like, yes.
This
that's a
episode
good way.
brought to you by VidAngel. For only $4.99 a
See?
month, you can guard your children
That's a good one.
from this broken, fallen world. You don't have to fall into the patterns of this world. VidAngel.
That was his tryout.
See what I'm
That
saying?
was your
Guys,
tryout.
I'm your guy.
That was your tryout.
I can sell health products.
Health products.
We'll just start selling Bibles. What if we do that?
Bibles?
Yeah, Zondervan.
Zondervan?
Zondervan?
Yeah.
Aren't they the
Zondervan,
Bible?
Vin.
Are the Bible printers?
Yeah. You
We
know,
sell all kinds of stuff.
speaking of that, you got me a really great Bible like a long time ago.
I'm a kind friend.
Yes. And I knew it was expensive because like it's like, what do you call it? Top grade cowhide leather. It's red. I love
had it custom made.
You had it custom made, all the things. So the other day, because what I do is I end up carrying it with me everywhere. I take it home, bring it to work, I take it to the obviously at the church, but I've always got it with me. And I thought, it would be really nice if I had one at work that I could just leave at the church and then one that I could take with me at home and wherever. And so I went on the other day to try to like do it. Do you know they have like a 6-month waiting period now?
Yeah. You know why? Because I talked about it.
Because you
See?
sponsored it.
I sponsored them. I talked about
And
it.
so I had to pay a deposit. And then
get
I'm
on
on
the
a
list.
list that in July, they're going to reach out to me. I
Yeah.
have to wait till July.
What's the name? It's
for
like,
them to-
it's like Peter's Leather or something like that. What's it
No,
called?
Paul's Leather is the other one. That's the
Oh.
one you got Aaron one from.
Oh, Paul's
But
Leather.
this one is
Paul's Leather. Custom Bibles.
AA Leather.
Oh, yeah.
AA Leather or something.
Yeah, because I couldn't find one that did a good red one. so
Red,
they did it.
yeah. And so I'm on a list in July to get a possible one. Isn't that crazy?
The rapture might happen
I
before
almost didn't do it. And then I was like, what are you going to do? Wait 3 more months for it to be 6 more months from now? That's
Well,
crazy.
see, Winnie, that's smart. You must be following in the dust of your rabbi. Because I have two. I have my backpack Bible and my office Bible.
Yes, that's what I need to do.
Because like
I have-
the one I preach from, I just leave in my office.
Correct.
And then that way, but then when I'm going places, I have it in my, and they're the same
Yes.
Bible.
Well, I have like 7 in my office, but they're not this. They're
No,
not
they're the
that
same
Bible.
brown leather
Yeah,
wrap.
they're not that. And I was thinking about it. I have 2 children, so like obviously I'm a nerd that wanted all of the Bibles of my grandparents, and so like. Oh, I should have 2 special Bibles that I mark up and use and all the things, and then I can hand down 2 instead of 1, even though hopefully I'll have more Bibles throughout my life. I don't know. Right?
Thoughts with Whitney.
What? You are ridiculous. Stupid.
That's true. I am the most
I was like,
sentimental.
wait a minute.
I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm sorry. I'm the most sentimental. The other reason I have 2 Bibles is because I have 2
Okay,
kids.
okay,
That's
there you
100% true. But one of
Like,
them,
wait a minute. You also have all the Bibles of your family members.
that's true.
Okay, go
One
ahead.
of my Bibles, I taped in little pieces of metal so my handle would stick.
Oh, that's
And the
true.
other one I haven't. And
Yeah.
so one's my preaching Bible, one's my backpack Bible.
One, yeah.
So one I actually write in, my backpack Bible, and then the
You
preaching
don't
Bible.
really write in the preaching
Rarely.
ever. Yeah.
Rarely, it's more like,
Yeah.
on my
It's-
desk. I
yeah.
use it on my desk. But if I'm sitting at my desk and reading the Bible, I'm on my laptop.
On your laptop. I know. That's the other thing.
Sorry, King James.
No, it's true. I was
Sorry.
thinking about it.
Authors and number 2 pencils. I'm
I
sorry.
now have to like choose to like mark up my Bible sometimes because I'll be like, what does that say? And then I'll go to Google it, and then I'm like, nope, go in your Bible and mark it up.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
I am probably in coffee shops alone more than you
Yeah, probably.
because I'm kind of writing content. But when you're writing a sermon,
Yes.
you're at a coffee. Do you go to coffee shops, or do you normally like your house or your office better?
All 3.
Okay, so I spend
three are
at least 2 days a week
Yeah.
every week for long periods, 5 hours, sitting at
Right.
a coffee shop working a message. And so what I do a lot of times is I pull my backpack Bible out and just put it on the desk just to let everybody know.
Just to say, I'm down with the OPP.
Keep them hoes at bay. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding.
I'm not doing
Just-
banking. I'm doing Bible.
Yeah. Just so y'all know, this is what I'm
Yes.
this is what I'm up to.
Yeah.
And I think it works.
Oh yeah.
I think it just lets everybody know, like,
This guy's for real.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to come.
yeah. But sometimes you have the Bible out and you know what happens is the sweet old people.
Oh yeah.
They come up and they're like, son, I just so appreciate seeing a young man not afraid of his faith. This is what the old ladies, they come up to me and say. I
But
say, Thank
also,
you,
I
ma'am."
think it's because you're a boy. I think people expect girls to read the Bible more than they do boys.
And so anytime, I bet that's happened.
so manly of you. Like,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
It's always old ladies.
Yeah.
And they come and say something, and then I invite them to the church, and they go, I go to Pleasant Hills Baptist. I don't know what church they go to, but they already been going somewhere 40
For
years,
85 years
And I'm
or
like, if
something.
they came to more church, they would probably.
They would be like, "What is even happening?
It's too
here?
loud.
It's too
and
loud."
your air conditioning is too cold.
I mean,
We're working on
both
it.
of those are true, but
Guys, we're working on the air conditioning. That's all.
but just because it's cold doesn't mean you shouldn't come. See what I did there?
Yeah. If you want, you can go to Plato's Closet and get a great deal on some double X jackets.
Yes. No, I love that. Oh my word. Yeah.
Okay,
no.
what else is happening? You got some moccasins on
I know I
today.
got my loafers on today. I was just trying to be
Aaron
a
Whitney stayed in a teepee last night.
loafers are cool, right? Andrew, tell him. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's just I wear tennis shoes almost every day, and then I was like, dress up a little bit. I
I've
don't know
not
why.
bought shoes in a long time.
You haven't bought any shoes in a long time.
Well, I
Was
bought
that-
one pair of shoes on Facebook Marketplace for $25.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
They look brand new.
I thought they were already a pair you already owned, but you didn't already own them. So I was like, yeah, those are good.
I desperately need some new tennis shoes. They're getting
Of your like new
just
Balance
like daily
persuasion.
wearers.
You need to get the 530s now.
What are those?
Those are the New Balance like
No, those look like gardening
shoes.
dad
Dad
shoes.
shoes.
No, but the problem is then I look like a Corvette owner. Do you know what this means?
No.
All the guys will know. There's a thing that's like Corvette owners, they wear the same outfit, is like the white New Balance, high socks, jean shorts, cell phone clip, and then like a polo that says Corvette.
That
And
sounds
it's-
about right.
And so every time my generation of man see those shoes, it's like,
Yeah. The younger generation, that's what they be wearing right now.
yeah, but they make it look cool.
But you can make it look you're not going to wear it with tall socks and denim shorts. I've never in my whole life of knowing you seen you wear a pair of denim shorts.
Should I get some?
No.
Andrew, denim shorts? See? That's what I'm saying.
He likes denim shorts.
See, this is the thing is
So
that they
maybe you would look cool
I would-
if
I
you
would
dress
look
like
like
a
a-
Corvette guy.
Corvette owner.
That's fine. Speak it out. Let it be faith, you know? Faith
Somebody,
it till you make
hey,
it.
Corvette, American made. Heartbeat of America. What is it? Like a rock. I
Like
can't
a
remember.
rock.
I can't remember Corvette's slogan.
I don't know what it is. That's funny.
Okay, what are we
else?
doing? Are we shooting the breeze here? Or are we
Yeah,
gonna get
we're
into
supposed
something?
to talk about it. I tried with the whole keep going to church even when
Oh,
it's cold.
brother.
See?
Oh yeah.
You love my segues.
Okay, hit us with a segue.
I did. I said, just because it's cold in the auditorium doesn't mean you shouldn't show up. You got to be in the church.
Such
house
a bad
of the
one.
Lord.
I didn't even know it was the transition into
Andrew
the idea.
did. Andrew caught it. He laughed. He was like, "That, yeah, that's good. See, I tried." That's
All right.
the point. You're not
Here's-
supposed to notice.
Here's the conversation. What's the point of coming to church?
What's the point?
I don't have to go to church to be a Christian.
No, that's true.
That's what people say.
That's a true sentence.
I don't have to go to church to be a Christian. That is an accurate statement.
Correct.
You also don't ever have to go into a kitchen to eat food.
Right.
You don't have to, what? You don't have to do all kinds of stuff.
To
But just because it's a true
live
statement.
in a house to have a home.
Okay.
You could live in an apartment.
Have you seen the movement of RVers?
Yeah.
I watched a whole thing.
kind of regret my whole life that I didn't do it sometimes. Don't you ever?
No. I watched this whole thing about how California is being taken over by RV people. But it's not like good RVs.
Oh,
it's
that's not
like
what I mean.
there's a whole movement of people across the country that buy busted looking RVs in Texas.
Oh.
Transport them to California, rent them to people
Okay.
for $2,500 a month, busted looking RV. They rent it to people, and then the people just park it like on a public street. It's crazy.
On a public street?
Yeah, just because you know how you're allowed to like park on the side of the road? You just park, they park it there.
So they don't have running water.
No, they don't have running water, and they get like a membership at a gym. And these people that are working for tech companies and all these things, and the housing is crazy. The only housing they can find is
It's
to live in these.
$2,500 for an RV.
And I'm like, dude. And they don't call them landlords. They call them, oh, it's not RV lords. But they came up with a term that was really funny.
Oh, really?
I don't remember what it was. And I was
No,
like, I'm
that's
about to be a RV
what I meant
lord.
was more like living the simple life, but then like traveling, like being able to see the 50. You know those people?
I would do that. I have this job that I have to
No,
be in
correct,
town
correct.
every 7th day.
But it would be fun sometimes. I'm like, that would have been a cool life to try to do that, to live the like nomadic, I don't know, see the even if we did it for like sometimes I think because Aaron and I had kids really fast, so like we settled down. Once we got married, we like settled down our whole life. But like, what if when we got married, we did that for like 2 years before we had kids? That would have been a cool thing. I see people do that, and I'm like, they're smart. They're just like seizing the day before they settle down the rest of their life. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you and Aaron, when you first got married,
Yeah, we
just lived in a van, don't you think that you would have fought all the time
Probably.
and probably ended up hating each other?
probably.
See what I'm saying? Like,
You're right.
as I look back at Rachel and I, I'm like,
Yeah, no.
It's
we
good that
needed
we
some
didn't.
space. We had to have the space. You're right.
yeah, we needed
Oh,
like
now it'd have
the other room.
Maybe in our retirement life, but I don't. But by then, you're not going to want to just drive forever.
Well, then you're going to be near grandkids.
Yeah, exactly. See, so that's why I'm like, if we had the moment, we missed it already. So, but that's okay.
One of the YouTube guys I follow is giving away a truck and a incredible RV. If you just buy a T-shirt, you're entered into a drawing. And I'm
Oh,
like,
this is when you didn't win, but I did win my. Remember when I did
so
win?
mad.
the
Whitney
thing,
wins a
but
purse she doesn't need.
I
and I'm-
did need it.
and I'm out here
I haven't bought a purse in a long time.
I'm out here
you
grabbing
know?
a Ford Ranger, and I can't win a truck.
for a T-shirt.
For a T-shirt.
t-shirt. Sorry,
It's all right.
it's okay.
Whitney's purse is the same value as my truck.
That's not true. But I mean, I don't know. But that's not true.
She says she thinks about it.
I'm just kidding. I have no
She's like,
idea. I
he's
don't know
a-
what your drug costs. But you don't have to live in an
$2,500
RV to live
My-
in a
my
home.
truck.
You don't have to live. What are we going to? We had a whole thing. Oh, you don't have to be a Christian to go to church. You don't have to go to church
we as a
to be a
staff,
Christian.
we as a
This is it.
staff have been talking a lot about what's the purpose of the church,
Right.
What's the win? I spent a couple, I don't know, months in my own time, like studying through the Book of Acts.
Yeah.
Not just reading, but like studying and trying to see like what was the original purpose
Mm-hmm.
of the New Testament church. Jesus shows up, does all his Jesus stuff,
Yep.
sends into heaven, leaves the disciples, not just the 12, but collects a bunch more, sends them out 2 by 2. They start these churches. What was the original intent of the church? And like, I think that what we've gotten to in our society is so different
Yeah.
than what it looked like in like Acts chapter 9. It looks so different now than what it looked like then. Is that we have to, as a staff team, we've been talking together about recalibrating what wins are.
Right.
Because it's easy to get into 2026 framework of what success is. And like, we look at things like Amazon and Walmart and Jake Paul, and we call all those things success. But like, yeah, Jake Paul is a success in the world's eyes as a advertiser and business guy, and so is Walmart, and so is Chick-fil-A. All of these things are successes, but the dangerous thing is all of that corporate identity is so crept into the church that like in the 90s, I think pastors started to focus on this word called leadership over like what the book of Acts actually says. And so we've been wrestling with like, wait a minute, what's a win?
It also came from a place of you and I grew up with a lot of people who grew up in church, went to church, served, were a part of ministry, all the things. And then now in our 40s, we look and they're not any longer even serving God at all. They're not at all in a relationship with the Lord. And it was like, yes, Amazon is the thing of the 2000s, of the 2010s and 2020s and whatever. But like the church is this thing that's existed for thousands of years and
Right.
hopefully will continue on.
Yeah.
And so if we're going to be the church for the next however many years, then forever until Jesus comes back, how do we adapt and change? And then how do we continue to actually make real disciples, not just be what we had growing up where they kind of know it, they kind of get it, but it doesn't actually transform their life. And so then when they get older, they depart from it. And like, that's not the heart of it. And so it was like, we started talking about like, we have this beautiful gift in our church that God is allowing us to help point so many people to Jesus, many for the very first time. And so how do we steward that correctly? And then how do we help build the place that not only helps them grow, but their families and the future generations? And so, used to you counted, what did you say? Nickels and noses is
Yeah.
what you were taught in Bible college, which means how much money is coming in and how many people are attending.
And those are the barometer of a win.
Yeah, that used to be the win, but now, I mean, good grief, we see mega churches falling all around the world because of.
Well, which is where I was about to go.
Oh, okay, good.
Because I made a statement. It's you tell me how many months ago or a year ago that it feels like God is done, heaven is done
Yeah.
with celebrity pastor.
Right.
It's like God literally just started taking his hand off of like a covering of a lot of these
Right.
places
Right.
where the whole thing was based around somebody's personality. And like I wrestled a long time before I was willing to say that on stage. Because once I say it, I can't really
Right.
back up from it.
Right.
And so once I say it, that means that I have to be really intentional about guarding what the junk I'm doing day
Yeah.
to day
Yeah.
and like how I lead in 4 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to just say it and then be like, oh, never mind. It's all about me, y'all.
Right. Right.
And I think that has crept in probably like once the video camera was invented.
Yeah.
Like once, I mean, it's probably before Billy Graham, but like once a like real national platform and like radio show
Yeah.
and TV show and like real fame became something that a pastor could get. And then you put in this like corporate structure that has kind of fallen into the church. We start to chase something that is different than Acts.
Don't you think it
says.
was the like Jimmy Swaggart? What is that group?
Yeah.
It was kind of that the
P-
televangelists.
PTL, Praise the Lord, Trinity Broadcasting
Trinity
Network.
all of that.
We will
like-
not be your sponsor.
No.
I will not do an ad for
No,
that.
we will not. But like once that televangelist was what it was called when we were kids. I can remember.
Like the Benny Hinn.
Yes, that whole.
Once money started like raking in to this, it's like it went commercial.
Well, you look at the early church, and they literally had.
Aaron's here.
What?
Aaron,
What? Say
Come on
hello.
in, but you
We're
have
recording.
to put yourself on the.
You have
come
to be
in.
on. Sit right here.
Can you
Sit right
see him,
here.
Andrew? Is he zoomed in?
Sit right
Come
here.
sit.
They can't see you unless
They
you
can't
go there.
see you. Look, put your face in. Here's Aaron.
I'm
hi.
here to bring drinks
Say
to my
it in the
beautiful
mic.
bride. Okay.
Did you bring me a drink?
I didn't bring you a drink because I don't know what you like. I got to get it down.
We've
I
only
brought-
been friends 15
It's
years.
true. I brought it.
You just stepped in.
Oh, that's
right.
true.
Yeah, he's
Aaron,
new in coffee era. So I brought one for McKinley and Whitney, but then I heard my daughter-in-law is already driving back to Arkansas. So sorry, Brady. Next time.
Next time.
So I'm out.
Guys, look at this incredible husband.
That's
brought
so
his
nice.
wife
I love
coffee.
you.
Now, he didn't bring his friend anything, but he brought his wife something.
Or a
Wait,
tea.
Aaron, wait. We have an idea of you and Rachel doing an episode. We're not even here. We literally just put you and Rachel in the chairs. Are you in?
He
Okay.
said he's in. You can't hear him, but
You
he
can't-
said he's.
Most watched episode.
Okay. He said it will be the most
It'll be
watched
the most
episode.
watched. It's probably true.
We're
Love
going to
you,
book
bye.
Rachel and Aaron in the next month.
Okay, the next month.
And
Do
God
it.
knows what they're going to talk about.
Who even knows? I don't know what this is. He brought me a tea. Sons. Oh, this is from Sons of Liberty. I would do a ad for Sons of Liberty. You like that place?
I like Sons of Liberty. I went to Sons of Liberty in Fort Worth, and it's where I watched Michael Todd's Cuffed to Cake.
Okay.
And I sat in that booth,
You cried like a baby, huh?
275 pounds, and I cried. I sat there
Oh,
watching
Cuff to
it.
Cake.
Cuff to Cake.
Yeah. Okay.
I sat in that coffee shop and I watched it with tears streaming down my face.
Well, I'm
It was
proud.
very embarrassing.
No.
But not. I mean, whatever. They're all a
was
bunch of
gonna
hippies
say.
without jobs over there.
I mean, they have a job at the coffee shop.
Not the people taking a
not
nap in the
people
thing
sitting-
next to me.
They might be doing banking on their computer.
Then in the same time, there's like a 2.5 hour message.
Yeah.
Then I watched Cuff to Constant.
That's the one I thought you were saying first.
Well, no, they were both. It was the same
Yes.
day. I could cry right now.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit fell on me.
Yeah.
But guess what? Through a famous pastor. This is where it's confusing. You see what I did?
I see what you did.
See, when I do a transition,
You did it. So
Butter.
good. Butter.
the challenge is that God does work through these famous
Yeah.
voices.
Voices of the
And
nation.
so, like-
voices of the world. Like,
And so, like, Michael Todd is the dude Drewski's going after.
Right.
He's the, like, prime example of,
Yeah.
like, corporate do it for the clicks,
right.
but yet God literally used those two messages to reshape my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we've been wrestling with, like, how do we have the right win? Because if it didn't have a catchy series title like Cuffed, you know what I mean? And if he hadn't been doing illustrations in his message with a bunch of junk food, and if he then now Michael Todd is a different animal in my opinion than a lot of these others because he's genuinely transparent.
Yeah.
He's a genuinely, I think, works
correct.
really hard to be
a
honest,
transparent communicator.
transparent, and humble,
open,
and transparent.
Yeah.
That's what he always says.
Hot.
We're a hot church,
Humble, open, and transparent.
and I think he really does. I think he does
Yeah.
better than
Than most.
most anybody, big or
Yeah,
small.
correct.
But it's hard when you start to think that
Well,
10 million views for every sermon, when you think that success is, you start to, like, hedge everything you do that direction, which I'm not sure that's what we should all be doing.
I think that's what, like you're saying, we look at the early church. They literally were taking care of each other in each other's homes, traveling from place to place,
Yeah.
staying in other people's upper rooms. Like,
Yeah.
they were known, so famous, I guess, for, like, preaching, whatever. But I don't think they were wealthy, famous, traveling on on airplanes. And so what happened is in the 80s and 90s, when all of the, like, televangelism, I think it was the first, like, oh, we can, like, make a splash. And then our humanists came in, and it's like, I can make a splash and be known, just like sending Paul all around the world. But also I can get famous and rich and wealthy and comfortable. And it just, the humanness of it just took over. I mean, that's genuinely what I think happened. And then that started making the people who had the right heart and the right intention feel like, well, unless I measure up to this, I'm not doing good enough. I'm not building enough. I'm not big enough. And it's one of those, you and I talk about this, which is maybe too deep for podcast, but you and I talk about this whole thing of, like, was it God blessing them or was it the enemy, like, using it kind of thing?
Ooh, that's the episode.
And that's like a rabbit hole we can spend too long in. But was it God saying, Benny Hinn, this is what I want for your ministry? Or was
Right.
it the enemy skewing some things? Because the enemy plays a long game and spending like 20, 30 years
Right.
of us now taking, like, the church into.
Cause yeah, I don't know. We
Sorry,
should even
I
put
probably
some of
shouldn't
these-
have even gone there. But it's just, it made.
Did heaven bless Joel Osteen
Right.
to build Lakewood in Houston? Or was the enemy long gaming
Right.
to build the most watered down gospel that's barely even Bible attached to then make lukewarm
Believers. America. Yeah.
because it feels like we've gotten super lukewarm. And part of that is because our shepherds have lost focus on what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, and just
And I'm only talking about it because it happened to me.
Correct.
I was
gonna
doing
say,
it.
We have found now that as we're having this conversation, it's a lot easier for our younger staff to have the conversation than it is for us in like, what if it looks like this? What if it looks like this? What if it's, because you and I have this like, we kept calling it box brain, but like we have these boxes and
Patterns. My whole
parameters
life.
of the church life, of the way we've grown up, that like, we were talking yesterday and my son was like, what's that thing on Sunday mornings that you would have and you would do it every week? And I was like, what is he talking about? And he meant Sunday school, which
Yeah.
is like a word that was in my daily vocabulary
Yeah.
growing up. And so like we have been so indoctrinated, entrenched into the patterns of church world,
American 20s,
North American, that it
20th century church
20th
world.
century church world, that it has been hard for us
Yeah.
to look outside of the box and say, oh, this is a win. Oh, this is a win. Oh, community is so important. And like we have the heart to want those things, but the shift from what we've grown up and what we've always known, it's hard. But if we don't change and talk about it, then Amazon wins. The world that we're in wins instead of Jesus winning. And that's our heart, is that more people would know Jesus, right? What?
My brain,
I saw your brain.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do now.
You did this. What?
I don't even, there's just so many thoughts. So
Categorize it. Let's just make it.
I don't know. So there's so many people that in church world, you know, you talk about those people that like we grew up in church with, and then they didn't really have a relationship with God.
Right.
They had a relationship with a brand,
With a structure.
with a structure,
Yep.
with a paid pastor.
Correct.
It was about him or her.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they move or that structure has some kind of issue and that falls
Mm-hmm.
apart, then their relationship with God wasn't ever there. And their connectivity to the brand of the local church fell apart.
Yeah.
And then because they had no roots in Jesus, their roots were only in like human construct.
Yeah.
That their faith wasn't there, so it died.
Which has been.
And so it's a challenge because like what I want is people connected to more church.
Right.
This is I want it connected to what we're doing and what we're building. And so there's this constant battle of pruning away, like, is what we're doing what God wants?
Right.
Or is what we're doing just brand?
Well, because practically speaking, we have to grow the nickels and noses in order to keep the lights on, in order to keep the staff paid,
Well, and keep reaching
in order
people.
to keep doing ministry, in order to all these things. And I think that is what makes it a very tricky, balance of, if we do the thing that works, and I think that's what happened. This thing works.
Mm-hmm.
Praying over a prayer cloth that you send $19.99 in for, it works. It builds the ministry. Like
Right.
that was not the intention at first, I
Right.
don't think. But then they realized like this is what works. And so then they started like all of these different opportunities to give, opportunities to invest. The heart is correct. But then humanness comes in and then puts it into structure and construct that then makes it so that what I'm trying to get is a cloth prayed for by a certain person rather than it's Jesus. It's the Holy Spirit.
Right.
That's the whole thing. And we're just like wrestling this whole, more churches are a brand. It's like we can tattoo it on our whatever. But Jesus is the thing. And like you and I have had this like massive heart, it's not even revelation. It's not even it. Just like intentionality of humility and obedience. We've always had it, but in this last season, it's been such an awareness of like, God, take us back to the very first space, to your feet, to where we are always pushing people to you first and foremost. And then hopefully they stay connected here. And this is where we get to help them grow. But how do we point them to that? And I think that's what Jesus is excited about in the next season of the church, Big C Church,
Yeah.
is like, yes, I don't know. It's probably been a year ago when you said, I think he's sick of it. I think he's sick of it.
Yeah.
I think he's tired of it all. And it's like, who will really come and follow me, come and build disciples? This
Yeah.
is the phrase we used to use. But it's like,
Because at COVID, the church kind of got
rocked.
And the
Massively
amount of
rocked.
people just for us
Yeah.
that were like there and involved and connected. But then after COVID, it's not they just didn't come back to us and start going to another church.
No.
They literally fell
Stop going
away
to church. Yeah, stop.
from any form of faith.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because they were more connected to us than they were to the King.
Right. And that's sad.
It's sad, and it made us review. Wait a minute.
Are we right?
Don't connect to me.
Right.
I'm just a dude who holds this book and like does my best to explain it. But like you need to know who this book is talking about.
Correct. You need to know
But
the
my
one
flesh,
who right.
my trust in Baba's flesh wants it to be about me because then I get paid.
right.
But I remember when I was 16, I went to a youth camp. And at this youth camp, I was shifted. I wanted to go and be an engineer. I had a scholarship to go to Kettering University to go and pursue this kind of degree plan and path. And there's this guy that preached, and his name was Ken Hubbard. He did my youth camp. And he preached a sermon, Get Out of the Boat. And I still haven't ever preached the story because it's so like, which is weird. I've preached so much of the Bible. I've never preached this story because it's like I kind of can't. I hold so much.
I know that I know this, but then I know you have never preached that story. I don't know if I know that it's because of this message was that message. I don't know if I do
It's
that
so,
yeah, revolutionizing Earth.
God, it so got me.
Yeah. Which is so funny. Because
Yeah.
then you'd think it would become your story that you
I know.
wanted to tell to all the
It's
people.
one of those things that you're kind of intimidated to.
Yeah.
So anyways, I need to preach it
Yeah.
at some point. And so
It's a great story.
Yeah. And so, anyways, at the end of the camp, I go up to Ken Hubbard with my Bible and I asked him to sign my Bible. And I remember he looked at me and he said, and we had kind of connected that week.
Yeah.
He said, Hey, Trustin, I really am glad to get to know you. And I'll sign, if you want me to sign something, I'll sign it. But I'm not going to sign your Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I've never forgot that.
Yeah.
Because like, he realized that like this little me
Yeah.
needed to realize like there's a difference. Like if you want me to sign your t-shirt
Right.
or like
Your camp badge.
yeah, like I'll
something.
sign your camp badge, but like
Right.
he had enough like wherewithal,
yeah.
reverence to not sign my
Yeah.
Bible. And I think that like the modern church has lost some of that along the way
Yeah.
where we're just like, yeah, dude, let me write my name over Jesus. And like, you know,
Yeah. No.
don't be real religious about that. That's not what I'm saying. Like when I
No,
was a kid,
correct.
you weren't allowed to set your Bible on the carpet. Like
Right.
that's not what I'm saying. But
No.
that moment planted something in me of like it shouldn't be about us.
Right. Right.
And somewhere along the way, it became about us. Like Billy Graham, for years I had a big poster of Billy Graham in my church office. It's now in my home office. This big picture of here's a picture. Whoosh. Billy Graham preaching to thousands of people. His crusades were all free.
right.
Free. They would rent stadiums with sound systems and give out Bibles to tens of thousands for free. You don't have to pay to get in. And I think now, like to go to an Elevation Worship concert,
Yeah. It was $125 a person. Right.
and like I get it. I get it, but then I'm like, I don't know if heaven does.
If heaven gets it.
I get it, why they charge $125. One, because they can. And two, because you got to buy airplane tickets for the people to be there and rent the venue. And you got to, but then they're selling merch for $60 a t-shirt. And it just has became like real commercialized. And like, I get it. We're going to do a marriage conference. We're going to charge
Right.
to come to the marriage conference.
Right.
I get it. But like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Just because you can charge doesn't mean you should. In Texas, a couple years ago, when the big winter storm hit, like this one was bad, but like
Yeah.
what was it a couple years ago?
2021 was the really
like
bad
people
one.
were freezing and dying
Yeah,
and stuff.
2021, yeah.
There were people selling like cans of gas for $100 for
Yeah.
5 gallons of gas.
Yeah.
to freezing families.
yeah.
And I wonder if sometimes that's what we do with the gospel a little bit is like,
Right.
I mean, Billy Graham was like the 70s and 80s. A guy who's really instrumental in my life got saved at Billy Graham Crusade, Mike. And I'm like, just in 40 years,
Yeah.
now a worship concert is $125.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, where my brain started going with some of that is like all these people before Aaron so beautifully came in and welcomed some coffee to Whitney alone.
It's actually tea, but still.
Tea. We were talking about the people that we went to church with growing up
Yeah.
and how they kind of fell away and all the things. A lot of them, what they've done is started doing something called deconstructing, where they want to deconstruct. That means take apart
Correct.
the church. And I get it because
Right.
why are we doing some of
Because
the
there
things?
are some things that should be taken apart.
But the danger of deconstructing is, are you going to do the work to rebuild?
Yeah.
And what Whitney and I have been doing, we haven't ever really talked about it.
Right.
What we've been doing for the past 5 years, 6,
More, yeah, 5 or 6 years.
is we've been deconstructing our daily driver.
Right. Right.
Because it's really nice to just have a vehicle that you can take all the way apart
Yep.
and take 20 years to put it together again or never put it together again.
Right.
But when you got to drive that thing next Sunday,
Right.
and like we have people getting saved every week.
Right.
Like we have life change happening right now. And so as we've been deconstructing, you can't just tear it down so it's not usable anymore.
Right. That's what I was gonna
And
say.
so we've been deconstructing how we're doing what we're doing.
Kind of
that's-
one piece at a time.
One
kind
piece,
of one. I mean,
one
I was thinking about it
cultural
like
point at a
one
time.
cultural point at a time. Like the whole idea of like even how you and I do church together is like a piece that like we didn't see before. Like
brothers and sisters in Christ.
Right.
We had to deconstruct and figure it
deconstruct
out.
some of those pieces.
Get
and,
off
like,
the throne.
Yeah, yeah.
All of these
some of the like
things.
Is it based around one dude or a team of people?
Right.
Is it based around community? Around a home versus Sunday mornings versus
Flash and bang Sunday morning. Right.
versus also like different departments and how do we do that and do we let those run or do we keep these quarterly, all of these things that sounded more like tweaks to the whole, but the truth is it's a deconstruction of the or tweaks to the I don't know, church of more, but the truth is it was a deconstruction of the whole like idea of how we do what
how are
we
we
do.
doing
How
this?
are we doing what we're doing? It's not just we're not just talking about life groups for life group's sake. We're not just talking about men's group for men's group's sake.
And along the way, God has been really gracious to us.
Yes.
To pull in my message I just did on the pain-tagon.
right.
That sometimes the pain that we go through is God's discipline.
Yep.
You know the reason that I think we've had money so tight?
I know 100%.
Money's
Right.
been so tight since we,
for a minute.
bought the land, left the pig, moved to Arlington, all the things. Money's been so tight. We've been bridging the gap so hard. You know why? Is because God needed some stuff to get deconstructed in
Yes.
us, or else we would have just kept doing it the same.
Right.
If we would have
Correct.
sold that land 3 years ago
Right.
for X amount of millions of dollars, we would have bought every fancy light and every new camera. We would have went.
Every LED,
We would have went bananas.
every grand opening, every mailer, every
We'd have had a bounce house at every single. We would have done everything we'd
Yeah.
seen. Everything that Life Church says will
Win.
bring success.
yeah, yeah.
But in the discipline that God, I believe,
100%.
has put over us
Yeah.
of us being in what feels like a season of lack, we've had to really answer like what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, like this Easter, we're not doing a mailer. A mailer costs what?
10 grand.
10 grand for not
least.
even a giant mailer.
No, I was going to say a small one's 10.
Mailer's 10 grand. We're not doing a bunch of paid social media ads.
No.
Now just watch. You're going to start seeing so many paid church ads coming up before Easter. You're going to want to throw your phone in the trash can. At least I do. I see.
Correct. I was going to say, but the other reason is
but what we're doing instead, I don't want to.
no, I just am saying it's what's been beautiful for us to see looking at it from a place of not being able to, but then also after having wrestled our hearts correctly so they're guarded properly, I'm actually able to now go, but does that actually work?
Does it work? Because it's easy.
Or am I just doing it because it's what I'm supposed to do in the checkbox
Because
of
that's what Jake Paul, and I know I keep using Jake Paul. There's a million other I could. There's a million. That's what Joe Rogan. There's a
Right,
million
right.
other. This is what the Kardashians have done. There's a
Right,
million
correct.
other. Is there better ones? Am I aging
No,
myself worse?
no, it's great.
That we could be doing.
We used a Kardashian overlay on a reel this Sunday, and it's made me the happiest. I thought someone gonna email us, and I thought, no, they're not.
I haven't
It's
I don't know what it is.
So it was like a voice of one of the Kardashian
Okay.
voices. It's just funny.
All right,
Never
I don't
mind.
want to lose.
email
I don't
us.
want to lose my point.
Go.
Oh, so we're not doing the mailer. We're not doing the big social media. But you know what we are doing is we ordered a whole bunch of paper door hangers.
Yeah.
And we're going to 6 or 8 times bring hundreds of people together to go walk neighborhoods.
Yep.
And intentionally invite people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to work better than a mailer ever would
Yeah.
in 2026.
But also, what's the win? These are the pieces that we are learning, because before, the only win of the mailer was to get more people to show up on Easter Sunday.
Right.
It was the only win.
Yeah.
Now, the win of a door hanger is multifaceted
Yeah.
in a way that we have not ever let ourselves go there to unpack before. But then we're able last year to see this is teaching other people how to invite. This is teaching people how to walk and connect with one another. This is showing people what it actually looks like to sacrifice your time and energy to care about someone else long enough to say, hey, maybe you can come to church. And then hopefully also get some people to show up. And it did last year, and it will again.
And it speaks something to the people that get the door hanger.
Correct.
That they're like, oh, this church cared enough.
To actually walk to my
actually
house and
walk
put
here.
this on my doorknob.
And they're all
Correct.
looking at us on Ring camera. They can all
For
tell.
sure.
They can tell the people that we're just not some dude on rollerblades who's doesn't care.
Yes,
We're not a homeless
yes.
person. You know what I
Right.
mean? That got paid
Yeah.
$8 to do this.
Yes.
Because we did it last year with our staff.
Yeah, well, we
Just
did
on a
it.
small
We did it on a
scale.
staff meeting day and invited whoever wanted to come.
And we had so many people come. Not just for Easter,
Right.
but months later.
Right.
Because they got a door hanger.
Invite.
And so we've had to deconstruct while driving.
Yes. Yes.
And it's just what we're trying to keep doing. And it's a
Absolutely.
bigger conversation than this one.
No, it's huge. It's just recognizing that the church does matter. You don't have to go to church to be a Christian. We said at the top. And the reason why we're saying that is you don't. And I think the reason why people have started holding on to that so much is because that idea so much is because them going to church wasn't actually doing anything to change and affect their life.
Right.
It wasn't actually doing anything for their Monday through Saturday. It was just a checkbox that they were taking. And so we were like, okay. And you, again, in God's kindness, like we used to, I mean, for the 10 years we've worked together, we would say to each other, like, our heart is to build a place where this is their third spot.
Yeah, third
Work,
place.
Home, and then here. This is their third place. But we didn't even all the way know what we meant when we were saying it back then. We were just trying to recreate the heart and the feeling that we had growing up. But that was because we were all in. We were sold out.
Yeah.
Well, how do we get people to feel that way? Well, now in this whole season of deconstructing, there's times you and I aren't even in the building. But there
Oh.
are hundreds of people here doing
The greatest ministry is
some
happening.
of the most incredible things, ministering, because we've recognized it's not about just one program, one way, one Sunday, but instead, how do we get people to be a part of the community, the body of Christ? What?
I got 2 things, testimonies and what should church services look like,
Okay.
which that one is going to have to be a whole other episode.
Yes, for sure.
When we were leaving the pig and before we got here, we experienced a mass exodus of people.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
They came back from the center.
Yeah.
We moved in. It was super uncomfortable. We didn't have answers. Mass exodus.
Mm-hmm.
Give us what's the number?
300.
300 people within.
3 months.
That's
Yeah.
a hit. When you're under 1,000 already.
Yeah. Oh, bro. By the time we came back to the center, we were lucky to see 385 to 400 people on a Sunday.
Which is wild.
Right.
And so 300 people leave. And there was a phenomenon that started. All of our people that had been with us for a while and had left started going to the other churches. And I can remember 3, you're going to remember more, people that left us, went to another church, and within 2 months of being at the new church, were in their church's testimony videos.
Of course.
And they would their church would meet them, talk to
Right.
them. would pull them, and they would get up and tell a testimony about what happened while they were with us.
Yeah.
And this other church was just using it as
Advertisement.
sizzle reel.
Yeah.
And I remember being so offended, and God started to say, yeah, it's because you're prideful. It's because it's about
Because you want it to be your testimony.
You think that's your testimony. No, Tristan, that's my testimony.
It's God's testimony, right?
But it started to teach me so much about
Yeah.
like my heart, but even about some of these other churches that like the win isn't the life change.
Right.
The win is the nickel in the nose. And I'm going to piggyback their story as a sizzle reel
Of the nickels and noses.
of the
Right.
nickels and noses.
Right.
Because like after these testimonies, they'd take up the offering. All these other churches, that
Right.
would happen. And so it started to question like, what's a real win here?
Right.
Is win attendance? Or is win kingdom win?
Well, I was gonna
is
say-
win actual life change?
But-
actual discipleship?
Yeah.
And then what's discipleship is a whole other question because it's not a classroom. Okay.
No, but it's so good because what we didn't realize then was,
It's dangerous territory that we're talking about.
well, I know, so I'm like, well, but oh well. We what we didn't realize then was that we were while we were losing people, we were actually winning so hard because they did leave, but they didn't leave Jesus. They just went to another
Easier.
space, to another place for their season. And we've had several of them come back in
bunch.
this time, in this new season, and just say, hey, I just needed a space for a minute to complete my healing, to finish what God was doing. And now I'm back because I'm realizing that's where now it's time for me to grow again. And I need to be here where I can grow. But we did not see, we only saw it as loss, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The people leaving. But what we should have seen, and maybe right now I'm seeing for the first time, is, hey, at least they kept loving Jesus. Hey, at least they're not the people that we were talking about before that in COVID just disappeared and never were following God anymore. They just were going to what was better for them in that season for their personal, yes, comfortability and whatnot. But they still were loving God. And so those were real. The deconstruction was already working on them. It was already helping them understand a firm foundation of who Jesus is. And now what he's allowed us to do through that pruning season that sucked for us was, hey, it doesn't matter whether they stay or go. Will you give them what they need while they're here?
Yeah.
Will you give them what I
Right.
need them to learn while they're here, so
Yeah.
that if they go somewhere else, if they move, if they change, if season shifts, whatever, they had a firm foundation to fall back on when they do leave this place.
Yeah.
And in that, God's allowed us to rebuild some things
Right.
and structures in a way that I believe is going to help them for eternity.
Well, if that whole season hadn't happened, then the refining would have not been allowed.
For sure.
There wouldn't have been a refinement in me because after all that second exodus of people is when we did the Jezebel thing,
Yeah.
which is a whole other conversation. But we
Yeah.
essentially we had to deal with some stuff in the house, and we had
Yeah.
to clean up some things were out of line in the house.
Yep.
And so, but that was only in our purview because we felt like we were dying. And so we put our ear to the Holy Spirit's heart and we're like, dang, we have to fight some things out because they're already leaving. So if they can we were like, we'll just replant the church.
Yeah. Remember one time we were like, we could go to Seattle. They need Jesus.
Well,
It's a joke.
Well, the
but-
tempting piece is that job offers were coming.
Great, right? I was like, we can
Other-
go. we
other
can-
people were
if
calling.
If we had to close it, I guess we'll just go somewhere and try again. But
But we prayed through that and we're like, that's not
No,
what we're going to
no,
do there.
correct, right.
Okay, the other
But-
piece
what?
is we had our Harbor Weekend the other day with our staff, and
Uh-huh.
I almost said this in there, but God told me to put a pin in it and not even bring it up. And then I thought of it in this conversation, so I might as well just say it to you
Okay.
and the whole world.
And the rest of everyone listening.
What if the best way to do church, you know how I always say that the building's just a tool?
Right.
Okay, that's an idea. The building's just a tool.
Right.
And then when we're in the staff Devo or staff
Yeah,
Harbor
conversation.
Weekend, I said to them, what if I read the book of Acts, what's it supposed to be? I did that whole setup with them. And I said, what if we just throw it all away? What if we are like, what is the church supposed to be? And we throw the whole thing away. What if we like don't even do it on a Sunday? What if we like don't even do worship first? What if we, and I threw out all these what ifs, and the young ones were just like, yeah. Yeah. What if we just don't do it on Sunday? And God started to drop some stuff, and he was like, put a pin in it. Don't sidetrack them.
Yeah.
But like, what if the best way for church to really be used is that there's services that are offered all week, and they're not just us?
Right.
What if legit there's just a Tuesday night whole service that's not even, it's our sons and daughters,
Right. Right.
and it's somehow in alignment. I don't think we're ready to do this yet.
No, correct.
But it's
But-
with this whole idea
was
that
gonna
the
say.
only time the word can be preached is if me or you do it
Right.
is very limiting.
Correct.
What if Sunday is Sunday and Monday night is this service and Thursday night is this service, and there's just different people that are just preaching different things or preaching the same thing?
Right.
I write the sermon because that's my calling and gifting, and we just Tyler preaches Tuesday and Melee preaches Monday and Brady preaches Thursday and like, I don't know. I'm just like, if you really look at what Acts was,
Correct.
dude, it was not a 9 and 11.
Well, this is what we've been talking
No,
about.
no, that's not true. It was not only,
Only.
and mainly a 9 and 11.
Right.
But what we've become, all the churches have become is like church, life groups.
Well, I grew up in a
And I'm like, but wait a minute, there's like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you know that. I mean, we all know this. I grew up in a pastor's home, and I can remember the phrase in my home was Saturday's the most important night of the week because you got to be in bed, you got to have
Yeah.
everything ready, it's got to be set because Sunday is coming, like Sunday's coming, and it almost became like a in certain seasons like a rah, but it's like Saturday night's the most important night of the week, and it's like we lived for these every 7 days. We lived for this once a week checkbox moment that was like so hyped, but then also, it didn't really leave space for the rest of the week. How are we teaching people? And so, we had all of my life growing up. We had Wednesday night services and we had different Bible studies and different things. But then as church grew and like culture shifted, it really became Sunday as the main thing all the time. And what we're seeing in this next generation, and the reason why they were like, is a hunger to connect with God all the time, to not just live a phony faith, to not just live in like a checkbox. They're not doing it for religion's sake. They don't even care about that. Like, that's all pretend. And they've already seen all of that fall apart and not work and all the things. And so, like, for the next generation, it's like, how do we actually connect to God in a real way? And so, and then, because as you're saying, I'm like, because what even are services? Like, what does that even mean? And what does that even look like? And so, like, right now we have a service. It's not service, but we have Tuesday night prayer happening right now that is powerful. And like giant things are happening in our church. And like, it started as kind of like, we feel like we should do this out of obedience. But again, it was just this beautiful, like, God's kindness to show us that, like, this is not, when you and I were kids, if they had a Tuesday night prayer,
We'd have been there.
who was going to it?
The staff and the like core,
Right.
the core.
Not the 20-something young adults who are,
bro, not at all.
and yet,
No,
they're
if I was there, I was drugged there.
correct, right.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it is now, who is coming now to our Tuesday night prayer is like mind-blowing to me, based on what I grew up in, where it was like, oh, it's the holiest of the holiest, the elders and the whatever. Whereas here, it is like we're having to not kick out the 20-year-olds. Like, guys, it's time to close up because they're just there praying for each other, inviting one another. And then that's the other piece. We've been talking about it a lot over the years where you're always like, I want to teach an evangelism series. And I'm like, bro, you're an evangelist by heart, so we already talk about evangelism every week, and that's what they do. And literally, the only reason our church has grown, because we haven't had the money to do mailers and big absurd days or whatever and all things, is word of mouth, is people inviting. And that's what the early church was people telling people, come see a man who told me everything I ever did. Like, that's all it was. And that's what's currently happening.
And the man's not named Trustin.
No, right. Yeah, sorry.
No, but
biblically, like
come see
and
him, man.
see. They were,
Come and
they were
see.
talking about Jesus.
But it's
Correct.
not Ed Young
Right.
or Craig Rochelle.
Yes.
Or TD Jakes or Mike Todd or Trustin Baba.
Right.
It's come and see. And so I'm just like, we've talked about how we need to do a Saturday night service.
Right,
Or a
right.
Sunday night service. But the limiting factor is like human capacity.
Right. Right.
For me to be a good dad and a good
Right.
husband and stay in health, is it possible for me to preach Saturday, Sunday morning, Sunday night, still lead a team or lead the staff? It's probably not. And so how does that flesh out? I have no idea.
Well, based on what we've seen in culture, it's not possible because the fruit of the lives of the people who, whether it's their children or whether it's their own selves, what we've seen is that was never how God intended.
We know a guy in Oklahoma, well, whatever, who is in
I have no idea what you're about to say.
Life Church's backyard. So Life Church
Oh, yeah.
is Craig Rochelle, the alpha
Church of
Amazon
America.
Church of America. And so what this guy does to compete is he has 8 services that he personally preaches all of them. They've built two sanctuaries
And he walks by.
and on the same property, and he preaches this one, and then this one is doing worship, and then he leaves this one and goes to this one and preaches, and then walks over and preaches 8 times, and the dude looks like he's about to die.
Yeah. Real talk.
He looks like he's about to die.
Because it's not physically, it's not healthy. It's just not healthy. That's the whole thing.
And there's
For multiple
there's
reasons.
100 other things I could say about that.
for multiple reasons why.
But
it's
I'm
not
like,
healthy.
wouldn't it just be better to like not make it all about? I want it to be about me. I do. I'm a flesh-made man.
Right.
I want it to be about me. I'm flesh.
Every time you say it so serious, like I'm like, but I know, I appreciate the
Well, because I get it.
hotness of it, the
I get
humble,
it.
open, and transparent.
All I want to do
Yeah.
in my flesh is
Yeah.
have my name in lights.
Right,
It's what
right.
anybody. It's
Right. Yes.
but when you read Acts, it's like so not about. Like Paul, I
No.
just preached on Saul to Paul. Dude is shipwrecked. Dude's beaten.
Correct.
Dude's snake bitten.
Correct.
Dude's thrown into prison. Dude doesn't have any money. Dude literally is in prison writing to Timothy, please bring me a coat.
Correct.
It's so not about him
Correct.
that
All the disciples got crucified upside down.
like,
Like,
right
you're like,
that,
or
that I'm
beheaded,
like
or-
maybe
Right.
maybe the best way for more church to thrive would be for not me to preach 8 services,
Right.
but just keep preaching 2, and then like teach other people to do the other stuff. Now the reason it's complicated is because you have to organize all that, and then now in this modern church culture where people are consumers, we can't take it too far or that they're culture shocked, because we have to have childcare. And so you can't just
Right.
like have pop-up church and not have childcare and safety teams and the building cleaned. So there's other details that you have to manage, which takes
Correct.
organization and a leader to manage it.
Correct.
And that's the part that feels overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because I could schedule people to preach services, but like, and to lead songs, but is the rest of the infrastructure that will still make people in our consumer culture feel like we're doing it good enough for them?
Well, and again, it's again,
And my brain explodes.
yeah, no, again, it's not we're finding the answer. And this is part of what you and I in that conversation had a hard time with, but then recognize like, it's not finding the perfect answer. It's stumbling into what
Right.
God is saying in the moment that he's saying it.
The next right
and
step.
and just taking a shift here and there and taking the next right step, and then saying like, hey, Holy Spirit, we're open to and that's the piece. I think that yes in the refining, yes in the pruning, some of those things, but what also God learned about us in those seasons was that we were always going to hear his voice and we were always going to be obedient to what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And because we've been willing to do that, I do think that's part of why we're being allowed now to steward this new idea and movement in a way that is really beneficial to people and to hopefully the life of the Big C Church. And that, I'm sure there will be some buddy who figures it out and markets it and puts it in a perfect program and box it in the future. But our heart is not to do that. Our heart is just to say, hey, God, what would you have? What does it look like? How can we help keep connecting people to each other and to God? And he's already showing us great ways to do it. And then keeping a heart to know, like we always say, there's no sacred cows. Like everything is open to what he tells us to do. And that, I think, is the most beautiful thing. What are you thinking?
Dude, so many thoughts.
So many thoughts.
Well, me and you have talked about a bunch of this, but not maybe. We've talked about all of this personally.
Oh, yeah.
Already, but the hard thing about a conversation like this is that there's no bow at the end.
No, right.
So you're just kind of like,
Now
so
we're 70 minutes in, and so we haven't solved it. And
yeah, there it is.
that's it, But it's
So
like,
we're just trying to, because what I want to say is like, so that means that we're going to be launching this and this and this, and we're going to be installing this and this and this. But it's like, well, not yet.
no. So what we are doing though is,
But I mean,
just being
re-engage
open
running
to,
how it does
correct.
is beautiful. And Tuesday Night Prayer, running how it is, and young adults is like all these things is it's like when it's time to.
Right.
And so my challenge is to hold the reins, but not too tightly.
Right. To hold it loosely. Right. It's something you and I don't. It's a phrase we're re-allowing ourselves to have.
We're re-allowing because
We're re-allowing
it was manipulated
ourselves
to us.
But to say is like we're holding it loosely, knowing that, like, really he's the one holding the reins,
Like-
and we're just letting him and being obedient to what.
Well, it's just the difference between a pastoral call and an apostolic call.
Mm-hmm.
And like my gifting is more apostolic than it is pastoral anyways in my person.
Correct.
And so like, but I've always told myself I'm not able to step into an apostleship until I have X amount of campuses. But that's patterns.
I was going to say that's just a belief of
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
just what I've seen modeled.
right.
But my job should be to guard culture and theology
Right.
and have vision. That should be the job. But what we've told ourselves is the pastor is the primary communicator.
Yes.
And like that just happens to be another one of my giftings. But like that doesn't mean that, but it's like, how do you lit these? Okay, now there's no bow. There's no bow.
But I was
going
going to say, but this is also how it's what we did over
what
the
the
last.
church does. I was at a church. I was on staff at a church, and they hired a lady pastor. They hired a lady preacher while I was there. This is literally what they called her. And people in the church would find out when it was not. Well, there's another guy who's like the secondary
Communicator.
assistant pastor. And people in the church would find out when the lead guy wasn't preaching and they wouldn't show up.
Right.
And they're like text threads or conversations that were started. Or they would find out that she would come out and they'd see the mic on her head and people would leave.
That's crazy.
And this is a real thing that happens
Yeah,
though, that they
yeah.
want the guy. And
Yeah.
like I have it. And if you've asked me this, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'll have people come up and they'll ask me before service, hey, are you preaching today?
yeah.
So yeah, I'm preaching. They go, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not shade at you.
No.
It's just if they have a friend coming,
Right.
they're like, are you doing some weird thing today? Like,
Right.
what is going on? And so then it puts this pressure of like, we've got to do it right or how
Correct.
they want, but it's not about a dude.
No.
It's about a king.
But that's the piece I was going to say.
But I can't put a bow on it right now because there's not one.
No, but
I'll know when I'm 65. When I'm 65,
I'm saying that's why over the years we've had years that looked like this and years that look like this
Right.
and years that look like this, because he's been teaching us what you said is a great way of saying we've been deconstructing while driving the daily driver, while continuing to drive the same car. And so we've been able to this year focus here, this year focus here, this year. And what's happening now is it's starting to come into an alignment
it's starting
of,
to make sense.
oh, so if we pull from this and this and this, here's how we make it actually go. And here's how it actually fleshes out. Because the other beautiful piece is the same has happened with those people, with the people that are here, is the ones who didn't like what happened in that year and this year and that year, they don't be here anymore. But the ones who were a part or on board with it are. And so now as we guide it where it's going, they're going to all be with it and excited about it. That's what I know. So that's good.
my hope for you, if you're a pastor that listens, is that you have some people in your life you can have these kind of conversations with.
Yes.
Because if you're not able to talk about like what you're thinking and feeling, then you're just going to keep operating in the patterns that you've seen, and maybe those aren't right.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Yeah.
were right in 1994, but they might not be right in 2026.
Well, it's the whole conversation of like, oh, we don't have a mentor. We don't have a mentor church that we can look at. We don't have that. And
That's
it's
a
like
whole
when
topic.
we're, but it's recognizing that when we're the ones writing it, like actually designing the blueprints for it rather than being handed something, then we're not supposed to. Like, we
Yeah.
don't need.
Well, we quit going to conferences.
We don't need the attaboy from somebody. I don't need the pat on the head that I'm doing a good job, except from the Holy Spirit. That's like we're allowing him to guide and direct. He's the one writing it. Wow, we're just the stewards of it. Like it's just a whole different mind shift that makes you like. That's why we get stuck in the patterns, because we're just trying to copy what somebody else did, going to the conference and doing the 9 things those people said. And is that really what we're called to do? No. So that's good.
All right, should we end it there?
Yeah.
I got a bunch of other thoughts, but again, there's not a bow.
Yeah, there's no bow. It's all right.
Guys, questions, comments, let us know. We did not do Tom Around Town, sorry. Do you have one?
No.
Have,
I saw
they've been
one.
doing it, but we just forget.
I need to remember.
All right,
next
if you're
time.
tomming around town, take a picture, post it up there. We love you guys. And if you want us to sponsor your brand, let us know.
As long as it's not TBN.
As long as it doesn't go against everything that we just said.
Love y'all.
See ya.